What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. I'm bringing you guys another Pittsburgh Steelers positional video today, but it's a bit of a different kind of video, right? So since we last talked, in my last video, I covered the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line. If you guys want to see what I think about the quarterback situation, the running back situation, the wide receiver situation, the D-line situation, I've covered all four of those videos on this channel. Something, though, in the last 9 days since I posted that D-line video has changed. In the last couple of days, we've learned that Stephon Tuitt has officially retired from the NFL. He put out a statement saying he thanked the organization, but with his recent graduation and the passing of his brother in the past year, he's learned that he wants to go do other things for his future. He played in the NFL for 8 years, 7 active seasons, and then last season. And he's done what he wanted to do in the NFL, and he's moving on. And first things first, I have to say thank you, Stephon Tuitt. You played, very successfully. You had 7 solid seasons over your 8-year career here in Pittsburgh. We thank you. Once a Steeler, always a Steeler. And it's got to be hard. Losing a brother has got to be a life-changing event that makes you kind of reshape your thoughts and look at the bigger picture and look at family and look at your legacy and how things can happen fast and how you want to make the most out of your life. I, as somebody who's physically disabled, have the same thoughts. My life is short, and when I get struck with a health issue, I want to go out and do more things and do as much as possible. So I applaud Stephon Tuitt both for his successful NFL Steelers career and for what he wants to do in the future. I wish Stephon the best of luck. I've always heard he's a very good guy, very intelligent, hardworking. Congrats on the graduation. Sorry again for your loss, and I hope you go on to do amazing things in the world. We are cheering for you. The Steelers fans are behind you forever and wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors. Stephon, really quickly, as a retrospective, was drafted in 2014, played from 2014 to 2020, and then also was in the NFL last year, 2021, but was injured for the bulk of the season. I think had surgery, in the first part of the season, and then had the passing of his brother, which caused him to miss the entirety of last year. Totally in his career, 246 combined tackles and 34.5 sacks. Really put it together in 2019. He was off to his hottest start in 2019 in his sixth season. Really came out of the gate strong and then got hurt and missed the rest of the year. Came back in 2020 with an even better start. Played the vast majority, if not all, of the 2020 season. Had 11 sacks and really put it together between the start of 2019 and the entirety of 2020. Tuitt looked like he was going to be an elite player at his position. Him and Cam Hayward were going to become the best defensive end duo in the entire NFL. He looked to have Pro Bowl, long-term trajectory going to the top of the NFL. And then last season, again, he got hurt, in the beginning of the season, had surgery, and then his brother passed away tragically. So we did not see any more of Stephon Tuitt. But talented player, athletic guy, absolute beast, got better and better as time went on, and wish him all the best of luck. Now, the next part of this video, which is less important, obviously, than players' future. Life is bigger than football, but this channel is a football channel, and I wanted to look quickly at what the Steelers will do. Now, we talked about this in my D-line video, and again, if you want to go back and look at the entire depth chart, the entire roster for our D-line, that explains a lot. People are looking at us to go and sign somebody, and I don't think it's that flashy. I think the guys we have are already in-house. You look at some of the guys that are out there. I've heard a lot about like Linval Joseph, Brandon Williams from the Ravens, guys like Ndamukong Suh. We do have $9 million more now that Tuitt is gone. That'll go for our cap, bringing our total, to $22 million, I believe, left over for us coming into this season. But I don't think we're going to sign anybody big. If we do, it's going to be a small veteran contract for a 1 or 2 year, $4 or $5 million deal. If you can get a veteran on the cheap, that's fine. But this is already a pretty deep defensive line as far as names and guys that have been here. There's a lot of guys on our roster, and you can argue whether or not those guys are NFL starters. But I think the obvious thing we're going to do, first of all, is to put Chris Wormley in that spot. Chris Wormley can play inside and outside. Pittsburgh likes position versatility. I think Wormley is the obvious choice here. Wormley, again, he can play inside. He's done some inside stuff. But I think he is our best outside guy. He's a veteran. He played several years for the Ravens. He's been here for several years. And he's gotten better every year that he's played for the Steelers. Had 8 sacks last year. Played almost the entire season into its spot. Had 8 sacks. Looked really, really good last year. Was one of our more underrated players. Again, he's not going to be a flashy player. He's not going to be a game changer, but he's a very solid veteran guy. He can bat some balls. He can get in the backfield. He can make a difference in the pass rush. Run stopping has not been his strongest suit, but he's a good pass rusher alongside Cam Hayward. And looking at the roster, there's still two other guys who are big impact guys on the outside. Mainly, we're looking at Isaiah Loudermilk. We traded up to get him last year in the 5th round, and he played pretty well for his rookie season. Didn't play enough snaps, in my opinion. I like what he brings to the table. And drafted DeMarvin Leal, who is really a defensive tackle, plays on the inside, has that, people have compared him to Javon Hargrave a lot. But he played mostly outside at Texas A&M. Played both, but played a lot of the outside stuff. I think his techniques are better suited for the inside. I think he's a really good inside D tackle, but he plays a lot on the outside in college as well, and I could see him doing some of that in the NFL. Also, Tyson Alualu, who's returned from injury. His best work by far is at D tackle, but he's played a lot on the outside. Played a lot on the outside of Jacksonville, started off on the outside as a backup here in Pittsburgh. Again, I think he's more effective on the inside, just like Leal, but I think either one of those guys could play on the outside if need be. So if you want to bring in Leal and he's impressing you a lot in preseason, you could bump Tyson Alualu to the outside. If you want to bump Alualu to the outside, you could put, somebody else on the inside. So there's a lot of versatility there. I think Wormley has played on the inside a bit as well. So you've got a bunch of guys who can play D tackle or D end on this roster. I think Wormley gets the edge. I think he starts the season as the starter in Tuitt's spot alongside Cam and Alualu, and I think it's a pretty solid line. He's the veteran and he played well last season. We will see if the 3rd round draft pick DeMarvin Leal or Isaiah Loudermilk can step up and take more of those reps. I think that if Leal starts to play really, really well inside, I think Alualu gets bumped to the outside, and that makes Wormley a bench guy. If Wormley plays really well, that's going to keep that's going to keep DeMarvin Leal as the kind of 4th guy on the inside. So I think that's what we're looking at. We have plenty of guys on this roster. Like I said, Montravis Adams played pretty well last season. He's more of an inside technique guy. But you look at Henry Mondu. I don't think he's going to make this roster because we already have 6 guys on the line, even without Tuitt. But that's another reason why I don't think we're going to sign anybody. We have a decent amount of money. We're in a good place cap-wise. But why go out and sign a veteran? Because a lot of these guys want big contracts, and they're up there in age, Guys like Linval Joseph, Tualele, and Dominican Sue, they're more inside guys anyway. They're more D tackles than D ends. So they're not going to give you exactly what you need as far as filling the spot of Tuitt, and they're going to cost a lot of money. So we already have 6 guys in there. If you look at Wormley, Cam, and Alualu as your 3 starters, and you look at Montravis Adams as a backup D tackle, you look at DeMarvin Leal as kind of your flex D tackle, backup D tackle guy, and then you look at who's the other one we have? Who's the other guy? Loudermilk, Isaiah Loudermilk on the outside. You got 6 guys right there. I don't see us keeping more than 6 guys. And if we do, Henry Mondu's been here for a while and has played pretty well in preseason games. And even got, I think, a sack and a forced fumble, I think, last season. So if we're keeping 6 or 7, those guys are already on the roster. And the money and the position versatility is not there in free agency right now. There's not a lot of guys that are on the D ends on the outside that are out there for a decent amount of money. Most of those guys are going to be costly, and they're going to be inside players. So I don't see us signing anybody. I see us going with Wormley and seeing how Loudermilk and Leal play out this season. So again, you're going to get a drop-off. I don't think Wormley is as good as Stephon Tuitt, and I don't think he's nearly as good in the run game. So yes, there's going to be a drop-off, especially in the run game. But again, with Wormley playing as good as he did last year, Loudermilk having a good rookie season, and Leal coming in, we've got some fresh blood in there. We've got some new effective players, some good athletes to look at and see what they can do going forward. So what do you think is going to happen? Is Wormley going to hold that spot all season? Is Loudermilk going to push him for the outside job? Is Alualu going to play a little more on the outside and bring in a DeMarvin Leal? Do you guys see Alualu and Cam on the outside and Leal on the inside? Or what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below, out of those top 6 guys, who's going to really play where? next season and who's going to get a majority of the starting snaps. My money is on Wormley. What do you guys think? And is there somebody in free agency that I've missed? Is there someone who the Pittsburgh should sign? Tell me in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Give me your favorite Tuitt plays and memories and what you think is going to happen next season. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.